Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will talk about proof of funds for the Canada Express Entry program. So first, I will start my discussion with how much money do you need for your Express Entry application as a proof of funds. Then I will discuss about whether you can count the money which is under the joint account with your spouse or spouse name only. After that, I will talk about different types of funds to be accepted as a proof of funds. Moreover, I will discuss about details to be included in your balance certificate or bank letter, as well as I will show the balance certificate format as well as some other formats which I used for my immigration. After that, I will discuss about the consent or authorization letter format of your spouse and the Provident Fund balance certificate format. And in the last section of this video, I will talk about the gift deed. What you should do if you do not have the sufficient money in your account, and can you accept the fund as a gift from your friends or relatives, and gift deed format. Okay, so I'm sure that you will get to know everything about proof of funds after watching this video. So watch the video till the end. So friends, before I start, I do create lots of videos about Canada immigration and Canadian lifestyle. So please do subscribe my YouTube channel to receive the latest updates and videos. And click on the bell icon so you do not miss a single video in your journey to become a Canada PR. Okay, so now let's start. So proof of funds is the most important factor of your permanent residency application. So friends, do not take it lightly because it will help you a lot when you will get Canada PR and you will be moving to your dream country in which you do not have any friends or relatives probably. So at that time, these funds will be helpful to you for your survival until you get the job. Okay, so now let's go to the first question. How much money do you need to show as a proof of funds in the Express Entry program? So the answer is it depends on the number of family members. So whether you are single, married, or you have a kid, based on that you will have to show the equivalent amount in your bank accounts. So as per the recent information provided by the IRCC, if you are a family of one, then you will have to show the 12,960 Canadian dollars in your bank account. If you are a family of three, then you will have to show the fund which is equivalent to 19,836 Canadian dollars. So these requirements keep changing. So I recommend that when you submit your application, you should continuously check IRCC requirements for the proof of funds. And you should submit your proof of funds document as per the latest requirements. Okay, and this amount you will have to show in your account. It means in the principal applicant account. Though if your family members are not included in your application, it means they are non-accompanying, then you will have to count the funds which is equal to your family size. Okay, and if you ask me, my suggestion is you should keep at least 1000 Canadian dollars extra in your proof of funds to avoid any foreign currency fluctuation. So let's say you are going to submit your application today, and immigration officer will check these details after 2 to 3 months, and by that time if the Canadian dollars price would be increased, then if you have shown the fund which is exactly to your requirements which is listed on the IRCC website, then it might create a problem. Okay, so in that case, if you keep extra 500 to $1,000, then if there is any fluctuation in the price of Canadian dollar, then also you should meet the requirements of proof of funds. Okay, so this is my suggestion. You can, if you want, you can go ahead with that. Now let's talk about joint accounts. If you do not have the money in your individual account, can you use the joint account with your spouse? The answer is yes. If your spouse is coming with you, you can count the money which is you have together in the joint account. Okay? The next question is, can you count the money which is under the only spouse name? Okay, so here IRCC says you may be able to count this money which is under the only spouse name, but you must prove that you have an access to that money. It means that you should attach a consent letter of your spouse which states that you have an access to that money and you can use this money for the settlement in Canada. Okay, so I'm going to discuss about this format of consent letter of your spouse in the later part of this video. So watch the video till the end. Okay, one more option is you can also include your name, means principal applicant name, in the account and convert this account into the joint account, and you can submit the updated details to the IRCC. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Okay, so now let's talk about the type of funds to be accepted as a proof of funds. So you can only count the funds which are readily available. It means liquid assets, the funds which you can withdraw without any restrictions. Okay, so let's see that. So the funds which is accepted in the Canada Express Entry program as a proof of funds are below. So you can show your saving bank balance as a proof of funds. You can also show the fixed deposits or recurring deposits if you have. In addition, you can also show the Provident Fund account statements. In that case, you must need a letter from your regional Provident Fund office. You can also show the stocks or the mutual fund statements, but in addition, you should provide the 6 months moving average of every stock or mutual funds. And you can also show any other funds which can be liquidated easily. But if you ask me, these things are very complicated, so don't go for the stocks or the mutual funds. Fine, you should go for first your saving bank balance, then your fixed deposits and recurring deposits. And still, if you do not have the sufficient money, you can go for your PF account statements. Okay, now let's move to the things which are not accepted as a proof of funds. And these things are real estate property, gold, cash, credit cards, vehicles, loans, and PPF account, which is Public Provident Fund. Okay, so these things are not acceptable. PPF is not fully withdrawable. Fine, it you can withdraw amount but partially, so that's why you may face some problems if you show the money which is in your PPF accounts. Okay, now let's move to the documents which is required to show your proof of funds. So the first document that you require, which is a bank certificate, or you can say the balance certificate. And this balance certificate or letter, which must be printed on the financial institution letterhead with its contact information, such as address, telephone number, and email address. So you should go to your bank and you have to request the balance certificate, which includes your name. You should also list if you have any outstanding debts, such as credit card debts or any loans. And you should include each and every bank details and your investment account details. In that, you should write the following things, such as your account numbers, the date of each account was opened, and the current balance of each account, and most important, average balance for the past 6 months, which is very much important. Okay, so but most of the banks have their fixed formats of their letters and they give the little flexibility, so they may not provide all the details that we have discussed over here. But however, you should request them. But if you are not able to get the average balance for the past 6 months, it is okay. You can attach the past 6-month bank statements. But you should not forget to take the bank stamp and signature of bank officials on each page, and you should attach this past 6 month statements along with your balance certificate. Okay, so now let's see quickly the sample template for the balance certificate. Okay, so this is the template for the balance certificate, in which first paragraph we should write our details. So let's say you should start with, this is to certify that, then your name and your customer ID, your customer number, then your spouse name and spouse ID. Fine. So if your account and your spouse accounts are in the same bank, you can make a combined letter too. Or if you want to keep it separate, you can customize it accordingly. So me and you and your spouse are the account holder of this bank since the date of account was opened for principal applicant and for your spouse. They maintain the saving accounts and multiple term deposit accounts this bank jointly or individually, and the details of each of their accounts as of this particular date on the statement issued are given below. So here I have created the two tables. The first table is for the saving bank details. So let's assume that the first row is for the principal applicant account and the second row is for the spouse account details. Fine. So here you should write the principal applicant account number, then your account name as per the bank passbook, the date of account opened and the balance on particular date, and the equivalent value in Canadian dollar. This is most important. Okay, same thing is for the spouse too, and then you have to make the total. Then if you have the fixed deposit in the same bank, then you can go for this table. So this table 2 is for the fixed deposits, and most of the things are same as we discussed in the saving account, but here you have to write this column, the date of maturity. If your fixed deposit is there, then you must write this column when your fixed deposit will be matured. So let's say this is the deposit where I kept on 2016 and it will be mature on 2019. Okay, and this is the deposit amount and this is the value in the Canadian dollar. So the total fund was 12,60,216, which is equivalent to 24,126 Canadian dollars. So in my case, the requirement was approximately 20,000 Canadian dollars, but to be on the safe side, I have kept 3 to 4,000 extra. Fine, so this is not necessary, at least you should keep 1000, that would be fine. And this is the date, the rate of conversion on 15th May 2019. Fine, now some additional lines. These are the most important lines in your balance certificate. Fine, so let me explain. So all these balances are on this particular date, and it is certified that these funds are free of any liens, debts, and are maintained and available for immediate transfer or withdrawal at any time. It means that you are free from any debts amount and this fund is freely available, so you can use it anytime. So many times when you have the fixed deposits, few deposits are not withdrawable at the same time, or you may have certain restrictions. So the immigration officer may not be aware with your country banking system. Fine, so it is a good idea to write certain lines to clear that this fund is readily available to you if Canada PR will be granted. And you should also mention that you do not have any loan with the bank, and if you have fixed deposit you can write this statements. This is also very much important. The fixed deposits can be liquidated at any time with the request from the customer. Fine, this is most important. Few fixed deposits are not liquidated at any time. Fine, so immigration officers may give you the query to your fixed deposits. So if you write these lines, then it will be more clear. So as mentioned in the certificates, this is an auto renewal scheme and it will be auto renewed if it will pass the maturity date. Fine, so you should write these lines in your balance certificate if you have the fixed deposit. This is the another line. This certificate is issued at the request of borrower without any risk and responsibilities on the part of the bank or any of the officials. Fine, this is a formal lines. Then you have to take the signature of the bank officials or branch manager, and you have to take the stamp of the bank. So this is the format, sample format for the balance certificate. Okay, so now let's go back to the our main PPT and let's move forward. So now the next thing is, as we discussed, you can count the money in the account of your spouse only, but you should prove the authorization. Okay, and for that you should create one consent or authorization letter of your spouse. So now let's discuss that consent or authorization letter template. So this is the template that I created on 2019 to IRCC officer Canada, and this is the information for the principal applicant. Okay, this is to inform you that my spouse, principal applicant name, express entry application number, received an invitation to apply on this date for the permanent residency to Canada, and I am the accompanying spouse, and the funds for settlement are held in my name, and these funds are available for use of our settlement in Canada. I have no objection in handling these funds over to my spouse for the settlement in Canada. So this is one of the most important line. Okay, you do not have any objection to handling these funds to my spouse. And then you should simply write your signature, full name, and you have to print these details on the plain paper. You do not require to notarize it. Simple plain paper will work. Okay, so this is the sample letter for the consent letter for your spouse. Now let's move to the third template, and that is for the Provident Fund balance certificate. So if you are going to submit your Provident Fund balance certificate, I would suggest that you should also attach your Provident Fund statements as well as UN card details if you are from India. Fine. And for other country you can attach the other equivalent documents. Fine. So let's talk about the Provident Fund balance certificate. So let's say this is the letter which was issued in the Ahmedabad region in Gujarat, and this is the certificate, this is the date, and this is to certify that Mr. XYZ person bearing its PF account number with UN number is an employee of XYZ organization, is a member of Employees Provident Fund. Okay, and his balance as on the particular date is as follows. So this table indicates the employee share, means your deduction. This indicates the employer's share, how much your employer deposited in the Provident Fund, and this is the total balance. And these are the some formal lines. This certificate is issued to the request of the member on dated for the purpose of Canada immigration visa. And the last line, which is the most important line of your PF letter, the 100% amount can be released after the termination of the employment, because as we know PF fund is not withdrawable until and unless you are working. Fine. So it is to be expected that immigration officers are aware with that and they will ask you for that. I know many people, those who have submitted their file in SINP, Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, they specifically ask this requirement. Okay, so you should mention that okay, this fund can be released after termination of your employment. Then you should take the signature of the official person and the stamp of that, and here your information, your name and your address and your passport details. Okay, so this is the sample reference or template for the PF letter. So now let's go back to our main PPT. And so till now what we have discussed, that is we have discussed about the balance certificate of your financial institution, means balance certificate formats. We also discussed about the fixed deposits or recurring deposit certificates. Then if you do not have the average balance in your balance certificate, monthly average balance in your balance certificate, you can attach the 6-month bank statements. Okay, then if you are going to show the PF balance certificate or letter, then you should attach the Provident Fund statements and your UN details. In addition, you have to also attach your first page of your passbook of your bank account, which shows your primary information such as name, the date of account opened, and some other details, so which can be matched with your balance certificate. Okay, so this will be helpful to you. In some cases, some provinces programs, you may ask for the settlement plan. Fine. So this is a combined requirement, settlement funds and settlement plan. So many people are confused with that. Settlement plan is different, and that you have to download it from the Government of Canada website. and if you are applying in SINP, so it is essential. Fine. So to download this, simply type in the Google settlement plan in Canada and open this first link. It will be redirected over here, and here you should click on the start, and it will ask you some basic questions, and these questions are self explanatory, so you can answer it, and you have to create a one PDF file of this, and that PDF file you have to attach as a evidence, okay, for the settlement plan. So you can also attach this in the section of proof of funds. Okay, then we also discussed about the consent or authorization letter of your spouse if your money in the spouse account only. Then in addition, if you want to say anything to the immigration officer regarding your proof of funds, you can write one additional letter of explanation. This is what happened with me in past 6 months regarding my fund. So that you can write in the letter of explanation. Okay, now let's move to the last section of this video, which is about the gift deed. So if you have your money in your account for more than 6 months as per the IRCC requirement of proof of funds, then there should not be any problem. You do not require any gift deed. But what if you do not have the sufficient money in your account? What you should do in this case, and the solution is the gift deed. So what actually the gift deed is? So it is a one document or the record which says that you received a gift from some person, from the donor, and you have to notarize this gift, and you have to attach as a evidence of proof of funds. Okay, so ideally, as per the IRCC rules, the funds cannot be borrowed, but you can accept the gift from someone. Okay, now the next question is, can you accept the fund as a gift from your relatives or friends? The answer is yes, but relatives, especially blood relatives, are preferred over the friends. So you can take a gift from your parents, your grandparents, your cousins, that will be more preferable. Okay, and if there is any big inflow of fund in your account within past 6 months, then it will definitely create a red flag for the immigration officer who will analyze your permanent residency file. So it is always better that you make a gift deed if you have deposited large amount or large fund from the someone else account. Okay, so now let's talk about the gift deed format, and the format is very simple, and this format you have to do the affidavit for this, notarize it, and you have to do the affidavit on the 20 rupees stamp paper. If you do not get 20 rupees stamp paper, 50, 100 would be also fine. So here the few details are very much important. So let's see that. So here first you should mention the information about the donor, that who gave you the money. So first you write the, let's say, name of the donor, who is the son of the father's name of the donor, resident or office address, and on which date that you are making the gift deed, and when you got the gift from this person. For your love and affection to my means relationship with this donor. Okay, you are a child or you are a cousin of this donor. Fine, who is a son or a wife and resident of this address. And then you should confirm that this donor is a resident of Indian or any other country, and further you confirm that gift is made from my own funds, means the donor accounts with my account number is this, and the bank name and the details. Fine. So the donor has not borrowed the funds from someone else. So this fund is available in the donor's account. Then you should another confirm that this gift is for the love and affection for your child or for the cousin. Fine. You have to mention the relationship with the receiver and no other consideration. And then you should mention the income tax details, PAN card number of the donor, and this gift is made from their past saving from the profession in the India or any other country. And then also you should provide the details of the check and the date on which you got the money in your account. So this will be more helpful to you. You can also attach the bank statements of your account which proves that you received the amount via this check on this date, and you also mention the bank details over here. Fine. If you have received from the cash from the donor, then you write the date for the cash, and this gift is irrecoverable and I have no claim left whatever on the said gifted amount. This is the most important line, and he or she is free to utilize in it in any manner. So this means that you are not going to give back this money. It is a gift, so you are not going to give this money to back to the donor or the person. Okay, then simply you should write the place and the date. If you have any witness, it is not required, but if your lawyer says, then it is okay. Then the donor name and the receiver name means your signatures. Okay, so this is the format of the gift deed, that and this is available to any of the notary public. You go to the notary public and they will give you this format, but you should be aware that as per the IRCC format what is to be accepted. Okay, now let's go back to this. So this is what about the gift deed format. So in addition to this document, if you are going to do gift deed, then you should attach the gift deed as well as some additional proof which is related to gift deed, but make sure that it is not acceptable in some PNP programs such as Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. So it is not accepted in SINP program. Similarly, it is not accepted in other province programs. So if you are doing a gift deed, it can be applicable to only the federal programs, fine, IRCC programs. It may not be applicable to the PNP programs. So for that you can check the province specific websites whether gift deed is acceptable or not. SINP is very strict. You should maintain at least 3 months balance in your account, then you will be accepted for the processing, otherwise your file will be rejected. Okay, so these are the things that I have explained, and sample format letters. So I think I have covered all the things about proof of funds. So if you want to receive this sample templates for the balance certificate, consent or authorization letter of your spouse, provident fund or balance certificate format, and gift deed format, then write your email ID in the comment section of this video below, so I will share it with you within 24 hours. Okay, and please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel to receive the latest updates and videos, and click on the like button if you like the video. Okay friends, so that's all for this video. Thank you very much.